Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Wednesday, November 16th. Ian Cameron, we got Dutch Boy Fresh, we got Billy Briz, your Wednesday crew, ready to break down the Wednesday card. We got a huge slate, 10 games. Let's jump right to it. Indiana and Charlotte to get it tipped off here for this Wednesday edition. We've got the Charlotte Hornets, 2.5-point home favorites here, 233 the total in this game. Indiana playing some pretty good basketball. I mean, what can you say? 7-0 against the spread, 7 straight covers for the Pacers coming into tonight, 5-2 straight up during that stretch. Victories over Brooklyn, Miami, New Orleans, Toronto, some decent teams. Their only losses were the back end of the back-to-back against Brooklyn and Denver, although they covered the number in defeat in both of those games. So this is a team that's very confident, playing good ball. 3 days off coming into this game, definitely what you like to see. Going into this game, they do have a few injuries to note. Duarte's still out. It looks like Tyrese Halliburton, who's been magnificent for this team this year, questionable due to an ankle injury. So that's definitely the one thing that's holding me back a little bit here, but I still would only take Indiana. I'm not stepping in front of this Pacers team right now. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They've covered 7 straight. They've played good ball. I would just prefer if we get a Tyrese Halliburton confirmation that he's going to play. And if he does, I will definitely be on Indiana. And regardless of whether he plays or not, I think the over's probably a decent look here. We know Indiana has been trending that way. I would expect Charlotte to be trending that way. We kind of talked about this on Monday's show with LaMelo Ball back, a little bit quicker pace for Charlotte, better offensive team, but unfortunately Orlando didn't help out with the scoring the other night. That's why that game stayed under the total. I think here it's going to be a little bit more difficult to guard this Pacers team. I would expect the Pacers to get their points, and I think Charlotte on their home floor will as well. So I do like the over, and I like Indiana as well. I'll be even more emphatic betting the Pacers if we get a confirmation that Halliburton's a go. What do you think, your Dutch, Indiana, Charlotte?
Yeah, man, real quick. Salute to the ladies, gents, and D-gents for tuning in. You already know it's all love. Hey, be sure to hit that motherfucking like button. I think I was just in that plane of first class fun. We'll get you right where you need to be. Believe it. Lucky Power, Wine Time Sports, Real Ones. I see you, my man. Eric Nisbet in the motherfucking building. I see you. Shout out to Rodney and the other new member. I lost the other name, my bad. Appreciate y'all joining the team.
Craig
Adams. I see you, my man. Salute to y'all both donating the $5 and supporting Pub Sports motherfucking radio. Bo Jackson, I see you, my dude. But yeah, man, I don't give a fuck about this game. Back with this bitch real quick, Vic.
All right.
Yeah. All right, Billy Briz, what do you got?
With Halliburton being questionable, I mean, that kind of really throws you off on either side here. But I think the move here in this spot is going to be LaMelo Ball, man, like you touched on. I think he's a prime candidate for positive regression here in this spot. 2 games back, he's only shot 12 for 36 from the field, but the usage rating is up to 30% compared to last year's 28.2%. That could be because of Bridges being out and stuff like that. We won't touch on that, But in an elite matchup here versus the Pacers, I think this is going to be a gold mine here in the prop market. The Pacers have been giving us good props all year playing against them. I like LaMelo Ball's over 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists at -115. That's a little bit too low, man. That's going to go up to 38, 39 by the end of the week, especially if LaMelo has a good game here. One of the higher over-unders of the day. LaMelo's going to ball here. If they get the W or not, I won't care because – that's not the way I want to attack this game here. It's way too short of a spread.
All right, let's go to Oklahoma City and Washington. We got the Wizards here, 5-point home favorites. The total sitting at 229. I agree with the move up in the total. Clearly, Oklahoma City has just been scoring in bunches and giving up points in bunches as well, but especially scoring. I mean, it's been wild, absolutely wild to see how well they've shot the basketball lately. I mean, 50 of 111, 132 against Milwaukee, 132 against Toronto. They shot way greater than 50% in that game, way greater than 50% against the Knicks, 145, 135, and another close to 50% shooting effort against a pretty good Boston Celtic team the other night, 126, 122. So I understand why there's a push toward the over here with the Wizards and with the Thunder. I agree with that. I certainly would be reluctant to lay points against OKC right now. They've been in every game lately. Now they are in a situation where they have a rest disadvantage. It's been 2 days off compared to 1 for Washington, but I still think the points are worth taking. There's no significant injuries other than the 2 players that, they've missed time already for a little bit. Darius Baisley and Trey Mann, but they've been out for a while. There's nothing really different there. So I would definitely look toward the dog and look toward the over in this matchup. What are you thinking here, Dutch, with OKC Washington?
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy Joseph Gomez, Tom Miggs. I see my man Star Child. Sean Spencer, you the motherfucker. What's wrong with me, bro? You the type of motherfucker that's what's wrong. But I like everything you said, Bobano. Real talk, I really do. I like the over here, and there's no way I'm fading OKC here. I mean, they play good basketball. I see a lot of points here. I know that the Wizards are pretty healthy here, and they've won, I believe, 4 straight basketball games. So the roster has talent. Obviously, we know Bradley Beal's a stud. If he's gonna play, it looks like he's gonna go. KP is, streaky as a motherfucker, but he'll give you some as well. So I kind of like this Wizards team a little bit, but compared to OKC basketball team, I think 4.5. There's some value here. If this was a smaller card, I would be on OKC and probably the over here. But I actually do not have a bet on this game, but I definitely would look over in the 4.5.
Yeah, Washington's been good. I mean, it's like they've been playing good ball 4 in a row. They've won 5 in a row. They've covered. I agree with that. But Thunder seem to be right there in every single game they've played lately. Yeah, there is concern. SGA, does he run out of gas? I thought he'd run out of gas a game or two ago, and he still hasn't. So I'm done believing he will. He's a young guy. He's got full energy. I mean, and plus it's not a back-to-back either for OKC. So I don't think fatigue is going to be a huge issue. If OKC, loses tonight, plays poorly, I don't think it'll be fatigue. It's just they get outplayed. What do you think here, Billy?
Quick shout out to my guy, Tom Miggins, man. Happy birthday, man. Level up.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, bro. Salute.
There's levels here in this game, man. The Wizards have been rolling, man, 4 games straight. I think the big one here is this is their 4th straight home game. So they've been home, cooking, chilling. They get Bradley Beal back in the lineup tonight. Wizards are passed for me, even though the Thunder have been pretty good ATS of recent. It seems like a Wizards spot here. Some way, somehow, the Wizards just keep on covering these games and winning. But I think the Wizards keep the ball rolling here. I don't think Beal's going to throw off the rotation at all. If anything, they get another score. Fuck out of here. Corey Kispert or Bradley Beal. Give me Bradley Beal every time. I think the Wizards win this game, though.
It's funny
it
because
does kind of seem telling, not to cut you off, Obama, but it does seem kind of telling. Like I feel like the average pup going to jump on that 4.5 as well. So Billy, pretty sharp there. I kind of got to agree with him.
Yeah, it's funny. They've won 4 in a row. They've covered 5 in a row, and they were all without Bradley Beal. Now Bradley Beal comes back. You'd think they're better with him, but I've seen this movie before in the NBA. Star comes back, and everybody relaxes and says, hey, Bradley Beal's back. And all of a sudden, chemistry is disjointed, and you don't play well the first game with the star player back. We'll see if the Wizards avoid that fate tonight with Bradley Beal returning. All right, Minnesota and Orlando. Minnesota 6.5-point road favorites, 222 in the total in this game. Money coming in here on the Timberwolves against this just ravaged Orlando team. Wendell Carter is game time decision tonight. Didn't participate in shoot around. The foot injury still an issue there. Already, same fucking guys I've talked about every game with Orlando on this show lately. Anthony, Fultz, Harris, Mo Wagner, Jonathan Isaac. Now Paolo Banchero looks like he's going to miss a 4th straight game for the Magic as well, the rookie out of Duke. So it's just really, really tough when you got Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Bol, Chuma Okeke, and you're going to have to find some other option maybe at the center spot if Wendell Carter does not play tonight for Orlando. So tough sledding with them from an injury perspective. I can understand why the people are reluctant to bet on Orlando, but at the same time, I'm reluctant to lay this kind of number with Minnesota still. Honestly, they should beat down this Orlando team. There's no reason they shouldn't, but I'll tell you the reason they won't. They're a fucking erratic, flighty basketball. That's the reason. I mean, that's what we're talking about here with Minnesota. It was a nice win against Cleveland. Yeah, it was a nice win against Cleveland. Okay, but let's not forget, blown out by Memphis, blown out by Phoenix, blown out by the Knicks, blown out by the Bucks. Only victory prior to the Cleveland win was Houston, a lowly basketball team. So it's a backwood for me, Vic. Roll it.
All right. Yeah.
See, I knew I'd catch Vic by surprise there. He wasn't ready for that right there.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Leave that motherfucker up, man. I don't even want to talk about this damn game. Shout out to Nets Bets. I see you, my man. Run that shit, Vic.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, they play down to their opponents, Chris Rock. Not the Chris Rock you're thinking of, obviously, but yeah, they play down to their opponents, no question. And I'm worried about
no
that
way you
tonight.
can lay this many points with Minnesota from what you've seen this year. I mean, Bobano said it, man.
Yeah, just a tough game. What do you think, Billy? You got something more on this than we do?
Yeah, man. While y'all passing the backwood, shit, give me the weed. I'll smoke it all. Damn it. The most obvious better team on paper, but man, I can't be fucking with them on the spreads, man. They have not been living up to expectations, but Magic have been a pretty good ATS home team, 8-2 last 10 home games. But I think more importantly, the overs 5-2 in their last 7 games of playing on 1 day of rest. I think the move here. Listen to me, man. The Timberwolves team total over 114.5. I think they can score points here. If they cover the game or not, I don't know, but I don't see a lot of defense being played that tonight. As long as Anthony Edwards can stay off the Popeyes and put some buckets in the back of the basket, I think the Timberwolves are going to go up and over that team total, man. That's a little bit low, man. 114.5 against one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, we usually see those lines at like 117, 118.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little safer option maybe than laying the points, just going team total, which is sometimes not a bad route to take. All right, Boston, Atlanta. We've got the Celtics 1.5-point road favorites down in the ATL, 233.5 the total in this game. Atlanta's been a weird team to figure out lately from what we've seen in recent results. They beat Milwaukee. I was stunned by that. On a lot of us were. We like Milwaukee there, and Atlanta goes in there and romps them 121-106. It was a good performance for the Hawks, and now they return home where usually we think of them as pretty tough to beat here at home. They are 5-2 straight up this year on their home court. Boston rolls in, though, playing some great ball, 7 in a row that they've won entering this game. You look at the schedule, they've beaten some solid teams in the mix. Denver was one. Memphis was another. Some weaklings in the bunch, too. But, no, they're playing well. Certainly not really rushing to go in front of this Celtics team in this spot tonight, even though they're still, without some key players. Brogdon out, Gallinari out, Smart, Robert Williams. They've all been downgraded to out tonight for the Celtics. Bogdanovich will miss the game for Atlanta on that side. So I think I might just stick to the total. I think we'll probably see some points in this game. It's definitely Boston has been scoring in bunches, and you said it on Monday's show, Dutch, with the Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum combination. It's been lethal for the Boston Celtics, and certainly that's going to be a handful for Atlanta to deal with. Atlanta's gone over the total now, 3 of their last 4 games. Like I said, Boston, during this great stretch of basketball they've played, they've cashed overs at 6-1-1 in their last 8 games. Probably got a chance to see this kind of go that way as well. So rather than a side, I lean over the total here. Dutch, anything here, Boston, Atlanta?
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy, Mean Green Picks. I see you, my man. I need money. Yeah, you like in Atlanta here. And I believe Nets Bets gave out Atlanta plus 1.5. And that's where I'm at, man. I'm on Atlanta here. I think Marcus Smart, you touched on it. Not having Marcus Smart, I mean, the head of the snake, in my opinion. Obviously, JB and Tatum are the most talented players on that basketball team. But he brings the heart. He brings that tone. He sets it. I believe he will be sorely missed. And Malcolm Brogdon is a nice addition they have. They'll be very light in the guards. And Hauser has kind of came back to reality. So really, what do they have on the bench when we're looking at it after, JB and Tatum already lacking size as well. So I look at this as Atlanta, who's playing good basketball, man. And they played good basketball against the Boston Celtics of late. They've won 3 straight meetings in Atlanta against the motherfucking Celtics by an average of margin of 14 points per game. So they've been putting it on them in Atlanta. They're 5-2, like you mentioned, at the house this year straight up. They're 16-4 straight up last 20 basketball games in Atlanta. 4-1 ATS last 5 versus Eastern Conference. I think this is Atlanta spot here. I think they win the basketball game. Give me the bucket. Give me the 1.5 with the hooker. I'll take it. I believe they win outright. I just like Atlanta here in this spot. Boston's a very good, talented basketball team. I believe they'll be, winning an awful lot of basketball games like they have been. But I just simply think without Smart, without Brogdon in Atlanta, give me the Hawks to win this basketball game.
Just the way the line opened -2 and it's dropped to 1.5. I got to feel this is a razor sharp type of bet right here. The Atlanta Hawks. This is right in his wheelhouse. I just got that feeling in my bones here. And by the way, the reason I like the over too, you talk about defense, it takes a hit with Brogdon out, really takes a hit with Marcus Smart out. I know those two guys give you offense, but defense is really what they're good at as well, especially with Smart, even more so the defensive end is where you feel his presence, and we'll have that tonight, obviously, against Atlanta. What are you liking here, Billy?
Yeah, man. I'm with you guys on Atlanta Hawks money line, but just a little bit nervous, a little bit of recency bias. This is like the same exact identical number that I took the Brooklyn Nets at last night, and for a 3-in-1 day, man. Let me tell you, that one loss fucking hurt, man. The Nets got blown the fuck out last night,
Right,
and it
just
could
when you
be
think they're playing better. Yeah.
This is not. It is yeah. KD's post game press conference won't be back in the Nets anytime soon, man.
That
But
was a rough one, man.
did you hear what he said in the post game
Yeah,
press conference?
I didn't hear it until I seen it today. I retweeted about an hour ago. I was like, I had to make sure it wasn't some bullshit,
Dirty.
some
He did
bullshit
them
fake
dirty,
ass
man.
night. They got me before, so yeah, man.
He was like, man, look who y'all got me out here with. Y'all think because I'm on the floor, we gonna win? That
He
won't be
named
bad.
him too, bro. He named him. Like, damn. Oh my
That shit
goodness.
was fucked up, man. But I don't know, a little bit of recency bias coming in this one. I think the Atlanta Hawks is the side here. Just seems like a good spot for them in a guard-heavy Hawk squad versus a team with no Smart, no Brogdon. You're going to get out here Derek White, Peyton Pritchard. I mean, I love my guy Peyton Pritchard from the summer league games, but this is the NBA. This is the real show, man. That type of defense will get your ass put on the bench, especially going up against Trae Young and Murray here. But I think Trae Young's the move here. 35.5 points and assists at minus 120. I see some guys in the chat saying that. I'm on that too. And John Collins over 11.5 points at minus 140. A little bit juicy, but he averages 15 points at home. Last two versus Boston, he had 20 and 21 points. This is a good game here, man. It could squeeze out 3 plays here in this game. Atlanta Hawks money line, Trae Young points and assists, and John Collins over on the points. Try to narrow it down. Make sure you follow me over on Twitter and make sure everything's official. But, man, pretty close to betting the Hawks money line, but I already got some money on that Trae Young points and assists, and probably add John Collins points at the end there too.
All right, a good prop game here for Billy with Boston, Atlanta. All right, Miami, Toronto. We've got the Raptors now 1.5 point home favorites, 216 the total. The money's come in on Toronto. Makes you think they're going to get some of their missing players back from injury, but I haven't seen any confirmation for sure yet. I mean, just there's some belief that Fred VanVleet's back tonight. There's some belief that Gary Trent is going to be back tonight, but nothing confirmed as of yet. And they're still going to be, it looks like, without Precious Achiuwa, Otto Porter, and most importantly, because he's played, I think he's been one of the better players in the league, honestly, in the early part of the year before this injury was Pascal Siakam for the Raptors, but he's still out as well. So that's definitely concerning going into this game. The Raptors are, kind of limping through these last few games. They didn't play well against Oklahoma City and Indiana. They barely survived and hung on for dear life against Detroit the other night, 115-111. Finally, they beat Dwayne Casey and the Pistons. That had been a little bit of a bugaboo for them the last year or so. But how can you bet this game with not knowing who's playing for Toronto? What we do know for Miami is they're really depleted. Dwayne Dedmon, game time decision. And then who we know is out is Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. Both of them are going to be out tonight for the Heat. So they're shorthanded. They did come back from the dead to beat Phoenix the other night. It's shocking because Phoenix just melted down late in that game, and Miami steals one, 113-112. Actually was their third straight win. So they perked up a little bit, Miami, but shorthanded. I don't know who's on the floor for Toronto, so it's a game I'm staying away from until I know who's in for the Raptors. Probably won't even get involved even once I know who's in. What do you think here, Dutch? Heat, Raptors?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Mr. Tank, Matty Ice. Good to see you, my man. He's like in the Hawks team total over. Like that look. Shout out to Sweaty Butcher too, smoking the lead. I don't know. He's definitely smoking the lead because he likes the Celtics tonight. So I know, pass that shit, bro. Pass that motherfucker. Shout out to Jeffrey Blue. I see you, my man. But yeah, back with this motherfucker. I don't care, bro.
All right. Yeah.
Right, Billy, what do you think here? Heat, Raptors?
Juice boy prop if you want to take it in a parlay. Max Strus over 2.5 3-pointers. It's minus 175. Do what you want with it, but backwood for me.
Yeah, tough.
All right. Yeah.
All right, we got Cleveland and Milwaukee now. The Bucks 4-point home favorites, 217 the total in this one. I kind of hate doing these kind of things where you've got basically you backed a team the last game, they didn't get it done, and then you think about going against them the next game, and it's kind of where I'm at here with Cleveland or Milwaukee here because I was on them the other night. They lost, and I'm kind of thinking about Cleveland here tonight plus the points because what's key when you play Milwaukee? Obviously, it's you got to deal with Giannis. You've got to have size. You got to have ability to handle that. And when you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, you've got Mobley and you got Allen, but you don't have Allen tonight. And that's what does concern me. Ankle injury, you got to throw that size, that wall, if you will, around the rim against the Greek Freak. And certainly Mobley will help that out. But you would have liked to have had Jared Allen on the floor as well tonight for the Cavaliers, but he won't play in this game. It looks like we've got a game time decision for Donovan Mitchell, but he was participating in shoot-arounds. So, yeah, they say game time decision, but the fact that he was in shoot-arounds is a good sign that he's going to be on the floor tonight for Cleveland. It looks like so it's Jared Allen, and it looks like they've got Dean Wade game time decision as well. But the key is Donovan Mitchell. I would think he's going to play if he's involved in a shoot around. But yeah, I'm leaning Cleveland. I just want to wait to see what the lineup is, but definitely looking maybe to take the points. I know Milwaukee's now off back-to-back losses. You'd think this is circle the wagons time. They bounce back and they play well here, but you know, when I look at this Cleveland Cavaliers team, I don't think the matchup's that bad. They've got Garland in the backcourt to really take advantage of a Milwaukee team that isn't going to have, Middleton's still out. Grayson Allen's a game-time decision. Drew Holiday has missed the last 3 games and is probably going to miss this one, although he's questionable. We'll have to see if he comes back. I think definitely if Holiday's a no-go, that's huge for a guy like Darius Garland in this game. But I'm leaning Cleveland. It's the only way I would go. I'm waiting to see who's in, who's out. Dutch, Cleveland, Milwaukee.
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy Sam Comer. Sam, I see you, my man, doing your thing in the NBA, killing it. Be sure to follow our guy Sam Comer on social media outlets. JT Sports, I see you, my man. LJ from H-Town. Yeah, if Jared Allen was in, that's what I think. And you got to beat up Donovan Mitchell. Drew, it's about your time to come fucking back and play some basketball. I think he will. Yeah. I'm on the motherfucking Milwaukee Bucks. Fear the deer. It's about time for them to get right. -3.5, -115. They lost 3 straight basketball games to the Cleveland Cavaliers by an average margin of 21 points per game. I believe it's about that time. Now, they've lost 3 out of the last 4 games by average margin of 17 points per game. Guys, in and out. I need Drew back. We got a lot of people playing tonight that will be healthy. I believe we'll have Giannis who will have a lot of room without Jared Allen being out there. Very key to me. LJ says if, yeah, and it's a big if. If he was out there, I probably would not be on Milwaukee tonight. But I think Giannis will do his thing. They're 7-1 at the house this year, and now they obviously off their first loss at the house this year. 6-2 ATS against the number at the house. And the Cavs have been somewhat of a fade of late now. Owen came kind of back to reality after that extremely hot start. 0-4 ATS last 4, 1-4 straight up last 5 overall, and 1-7 straight up last 7 in Milwaukee. 6-14 straight up overall last 20 on the road. I'm fading the Cleveland Cavaliers here. It's a get right spot for Giannis and a triple revenge spot realistically for these boys off of 3 out of 4 losses. First loss at the house. Let's go. Fear the motherfucking deer. Give me -3.5, -115.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on, Drew. Suit the fuck up, goddammit.
We'll see if Drew. That's huge if he's back because that's significant in this matchup to have him on the floor.
I think Connaughton's back though too. Not to cut you off, Bono, but he's back. I think people are getting right. I think they need him out there to play some motherfucking basketball.
Yeah, they do. Pat Connaughton. Yeah, it looks like he has his game time decision. It's the whole fucking league is a game time decision. It's absolutely insane, man. Everybody's a game time decision. Although he's probable, so it looks like we are going to see.
Yeah, I think he's rolling.
Connaughton. Yeah, I think Connaughton's going to be out there. Yeah, 3-1 straight up, 4-0 against the spread for Cleveland, head to head the last 4 against Milwaukee. So and this is the best Cleveland team of the bunch now. So we'll see if Milwaukee's ready to answer the bell. How about you, Billy? What do you think here?
Man, it's a hard game for me to cap. Don't really want to bet against either of these teams. They've been pretty good ATS. Not really a game that I see a lot of edge. I mean, I'm not fading the Bucks at home, nor do I really want to back them here unless it was the first half. But man, this is a backward for me, man.
All right.
We got the Bulls and the Pelicanos now in the Big Easy. New Orleans 1.5 point home favorites, 226.5 the total here. We've got the Pelicans on a back-to-back as well in this game. No travel though, because this is another home game. It's a 4th straight home game for the Pelicans after a 113-102 comeback win last night against the Memphis Grizzlies. It started out pretty poorly for them. They were trailing in that game, but rallied in the 4th quarter and ended up winning by 11, 113, 102. Pelicans team that is now 8-6 on the year. Bulls come in losing 2 in a row. They lost to the Pelicans just recently. A week ago tonight, it was actually a best bet for me on the show. I used the Pelicans money line against Chicago in the Windy City, and they won that game 115, 111. Chicago then lost at home, got blown out by Denver after that a couple of days ago, 126 to 103. So again, with the Bulls, it's just up and down. It's inconsistent, 6-8. Lonzo Ball still out. That defense probably isn't going to be at its best. If it's going to be good, it'll be when he gets back. And even then, defense continues to be an issue for them. Kobe White, game time decision for the Bulls. That being said, Chicago's got a significant rest advantage. They're off a blowout loss at home to Denver, 2 losses in a row, 2 days off. New Orleans is on a back-to-back. I understand from a spot perspective, definitely a Chicago spot. Do you trust them enough to win this game and back them is the question. But I think New Orleans is the better basketball team, and that's why I took them last week. And I'm off this game because it's just the spot is just way too much better for Chicago than it is for New Orleans, and that might be enough to carry them to a road win. But I still think New Orleans is better and has matchup advantages, especially in the paint against the Chicago team. So might look over. I'm going to pass on the side. Dutch, what do you think here? Bulls, Pelicans.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Chris Rock, Occupancy. I see you, my man. Dennis, Get Money. It's good to see you. Good vibes always with my man in the building. We got a little over 200 in here right now. Let's run up them likes. Come on, man. Let's run up these motherfucking likes. We've been coming a little light in the ass on them likes lately. Let's do that. Let's hit them up. We got Billy. I was fresh off a 3-in-1 day yesterday. I went 2-in-1. I know Bobano's been doing this goddamn thing. Let's run up these likes real quick. But yeah, I think CJ's finding his game a little bit, coming off his best game here. I don't have a bet on this game, but I do believe CJ McCollum could be a look here. I don't really trust nothing over there from Chicago. He's looking here. I like what I heard from him in his press conference afterwards. He's been struggling a little bit. We know he's got all the tools in the bag. So I like CJ a little bit here tonight.
Yeah, I know in hockey, the short turnaround revenge spots have been working. Where if you back the team that lost the game just a few days ago or a week ago, playing that same team the second time, the team that lost the first game came back and won the next game. So it is that kind of spot for Chicago, bet on spot, but they're not better than New Orleans. I ain't taking them at +1.5, but the spot is enough to keep me off the Pelicans though as well. And no Zion, of course, for the Pelicans tonight. Billy, what do you think?
I don't know, man. It seems like a Chicago spot here, man. 7-3-1 ATS, last 11 road games, and more importantly, 6-2 ATS in their last 8 games against a team with a winning record. That was a theme with Chicago last year, was they would play up to their competition and lose against the good teams. Pelicans 2-5 ATS their last 7 games, playing on 0 days of rest, or 2-5 ATS in their last 7 games. Seems like a prime letdown spot here for the Pelicans, who played an intense game last night, primetime television. No Zion. I like the Bulls money line here tonight, man. +106. One of my favorite spots on the board.
There you go. It's definitely a big spot advantage, and scheduling, situationals, all that favor Chicago tonight. We'll see if they can capitalize on it. Houston, Dallas. Dallas 6.5 point home favorites, 218 the total. The numbers come crashing down. It opened 10.5. It's all the way down to 6.5. No Luka, of course, for Dallas. Luka the Don's out for them. Maxi Kleber's out. JaVale McGee's out for them. Houston looks relatively healthy for the most part. Porter, Green, Gordon, Jabari Smith, who's had some injury issues, is healthy now. And I've left my wallet in Alperen Sengundo is also going to be on the floor tonight for the Rockets. So relatively healthy team. 5-5 ATS they are on the road. They're 1-9 on the road. Like, their straight up records horrendous on the road. They're a 2-12 team overall, but they actually are a 50-50 proposition on the road ATS. Meanwhile, you got Dallas coming into this game 7-1 straight. How about this weird, dichotomy we have here, where Dallas is 7-1 straight up at home, but they're actually 1-7-1 rather, 1-6-1 ATS at home. So they haven't been covering numbers here at the house. They don't have Luka. I understand why people are betting Houston a little bit, but you're getting the back end of the number now. Like, if you haven't bet Houston yet, do you want to take 6? Do you want to take 6.5 when there was 10.5s out there earlier? I'm not so sure, but definitely enough red flags here to stay away from Dallas, and probably enough red flags for me to stay away from the game overall. Dutch, what do you think here? Rockets, Mavs.
Man, this is not a motherfucking red flag. Pass me this shit, goddammit, Bobon. I'm gonna hit it. It's exotic as a motherfucker in a plane, and we're going straight to the motherfucking moon. Hey, shout out to my guy DK, Dan Kelly. Good to see you, my man. And Dennis Get Money says revenge spot for Christian Wood. I believe so, my guy. And he didn't have his best basketball. He looked a little frustrated last time out. I think he might take it out on a suspect ass Houston Rockets team. So I like this game. Luka the motherfucking Don's out. And I wasn't happy to see that, but. Talk about a star being out. Talk about what the teams do. They step the fuck up when the star is out. And this is a basketball team where Luka gets a lot of the motherfucking credit, a lot of it. And we got guys like Spencer Dinwiddie, guys like Tim Hardaway Jr. These guys been playing basketball, and they got a chip on their shoulder. They're going to show, hey, we're good as fuck too. All right. So the first quarter, we're going right back to the motherfucking window. We're not scared without the Don. They're going to do what they do, and they're going to put it on a suspect ass Houston Rockets team. The Mavs first quarter -2. It's going to be good money. 5-1 ATS last 6 first quarters for the Mavs. The last 4 they've covered straight in a row. Average marginal after 1, 8.5 points after 1. The Rockets are suspect as fuck as not only a full basketball team, but especially in the first quarter. 2-7 ATS last 9 in the first quarter. We get a basketball team here where you've mentioned it. They start out, they just die down. They do not cover basketball games at home. They're a good basketball team. They find a way to win. That's what good basketball teams do. But even last night, up 20 fucking points in the fucking first half against these boys, and they do not cover. They're down against the Clippers. I mean, come on, man. I was very happy, felt very good having first quarter, first half. My guy Billy was right there with me on that first half. So it was a beautiful thing. But, man, they got to fix that. So I expect it to happen, just pretty much just like it happened last night. Look for Dallas to get out early. And then I wouldn't be surprised if Houston makes a little run. But, yeah, Dallas first quarter -2, good money.
I agree with what Matty Ice is saying. He's on to that. Ski's been talking about that for at least a year, if not since the beginning, the inception of NBA Pub Hub. Honestly, Ski Profit has been talking about how when Luka's out, they play faster. And when Luka's in, he walks the ball up the court. It's a half-court game. The possession numbers, of course, go down in that case. So you're right. From a pure pace perspective, without Luka, I find Dallas is a little quicker pace. So maybe you can make a case for the over. They're betting this thing under because they see Luka out, the scoring that you lose without him. But they really play slower with Luka, not so slow without him. So the over might have a little value here with Houston, Dallas, 218 being the total here. What do you think, Billy? Rockets, Mav?
Shout out my guy MMA Locker Room grilling me about things, man. I don't care if they beat the Nets last night. I will not bet the fucking Kings, man. And I'm fucking with you. Shout out to my guy Mills, though. If you want to see the interview for the Bellator 288 fighters, 2 title fights on Friday night, Mills is interviewing the guys. You should find that out over at suredog.com or probably over on his Twitter at MMA Locker. Quick little plug for my guy. But in a pace-up spot here, I like Alfred Sengun, man. You touched on it a little bit earlier. He's back in the lineup, over 22.5 points and rebounds, -128, one of my favorite props on the board. Even though he missed the last 2 games, man, he's been covering that prop all year, man. 9 out of 12 games so far this year, he's covered that prop. City rival matchup. Expect the Rockets to get up for this game, but don't expect the Mavs to get up for this game in the second half of it back-to-back. We couldn't have capped that one any perfect than we did yesterday. So I don't want to go back to the well betting a spread here. I think it's Prop City here, Alfred Sengun. Or if you're on the side of Luka's out, fuck with Spencer Dinwiddie. He's going to have all the usage tonight, man. I mean, who else is going to shoot shots for his team? Tim Hardaway Jr.? Fuck that guy.
That Tim Hardaway Jr. is a friggin' frustrating. Let's put it
ball
that way. He's capable, and he's also very, very aggravating for those that are Dallas fans and watch him and watch that team on a nightly basis. We got New York and Denver next up now. The Nuggets down to 3-point home favorites here, 226 the total in this game. They're betting the hell out of the Knicks here because, obviously, of the situation with Denver. A lot of their players in health and safety protocols. Bones Highland's a game-time decision. Aaron Gordon's a game-time decision. Joker, Nikola Jokic has been ruled out already in this game. And obviously, when you see all this injury information on one team, the betting markets are going to react. They're going to bet the other side. And I get it, betting at 9.5, 9. 3 points now, the Knicks are as underdogs in this game. And I granted that other than Mitchell Robinson being out, the Knicks are the much healthier team. No question about that. But The Knicks are also on a back-to-back. They played at Utah last night, and they won that game. Give them credit, 118-111. This back-to-back games on the road, in the altitude, in the thin air. Utah last night, Denver tonight. At this number, it's Denver for me. If I'm betting this thing, I'm not taking the Knicks now at +3. I know there's no Joker, and that should be an opportunity for New York in the paint, obviously. But obviously there's concerns about Gordon and Bones Highland, but I'm not taking New York at just +3 on a back-to-back in altitude after a win last night in Utah. That's just not a good advantageous scheduling spot. Will I be on Denver? I don't know. I don't know for sure. I may not be, but at the current number, -3 in this game, there's no way I'm taking New York at this much worse of a number. If you got the Knicks early, good for you, but not at +3. Now I've got to lean Denver, but again, we'll have to see if Bones Highland and Gordon at least play in this game. I might look toward I might actually pull the trigger on Denver if that's the case, because we've seen often these teams rise up in the first game without their star player, and constantly happens in the NBA. So I'm definitely leaning Denver. We'll see if they at least get Bones and Aaron Gordon, AG, in the lineup tonight. Dutch, what are you thinking here? Knicks, Nuggets.
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy Banana Grapes and Tiffany, man. I'm glad you said that, young lady, that you're over your team, because I'm about to say fuck the New York Knicks, and I did not want to offend you by any way, but man, fuck the motherfucking New York Knicks, god damn it. And they fucked me last night. I mean, I had Utah -4. We're gonna stand on that shit. I can't get this motherfucking shit right with these Knicks. I'm gonna get it right tonight. I'm gonna fuck who's suiting up for the Nuggets. They're getting in that ass. You want to play with the Knicks first half, you want to get cute, maybe, okay, maybe. But full game, these boys will tire down. It will be mile high, and I believe, Michael Porter Jr. will get in that game. I believe Murray will have a nice game. This might be a Bruce Brown game, like a little 15-12 type game for Bruce Brown. Remember how dirty he did him in Brooklyn? You'd be like, damn, Bruce Brown is good. He might have a game like that tonight. We'll have some. Obviously, they got Caldwell Pope too. I would like I need Gordon in there. I don't want to see too much of DeAndre Jordan. I'd like to see some Zeke Naji. He's not getting too many minutes. I think the boy got some talent. Let me see a little bit of him down there. They can bring Jeff Green, give Jeff Green a little bit of moments. He could catch fire as well. But I think this is a deep Denver basketball team. I would like to have Bones out there as well, but I think they step up kind of without the Luka factor here. I think they step up without their star Joker. Joker never really misses basketball games. I think you're going to get the home crowd here, a tired New York basketball team eventually, and the Denver Nuggets will win this basketball game. I got -2.5, -115. It's good money.
Do you also want to take a team that's lost 14 straight in Denver? That's the Knicks. They've lost 14 straight in Denver. They haven't won in Denver since 2006. 2006. I'm still in college, for fuck's sakes, in 2006. That's how long it's been. 16 years since the New York Knicks have won a game in Denver in the Mile High City against the Nuggets.
That's crazy.
Just another log thrown onto the fire as to why I can't take +3 with them tonight now, with where this number is. What do you think here, Billy?
That's a crazy stat. I did not know that. It wasn't on the
Knicks.
Better. Yeah, but it definitely would make you feel a little bit better about being on the Denver side. But I think the move here, man, no Jokic. We know where the shot attempts are going today. Leader of the fan club, Michael Porter Jr. Man, we know this boy's got a green light. Despite the efficiencies, he's going to shoot the ball. He ain't looking to pass. He ain't looking to drive. He's just looking to shoot the rock. Over 19.5 points tonight, -120, the best prop of the day. Michael Porter Jr. is going to get a bucket night, man. Last time he played was Friday against Chicago, and he had 31 buckets, man. He's coming into this game pretty hot. In the month of November so far, he's been averaging 17.5 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 1 assist per game. So numbers tell you he's going to shoot the ball and not pass the rock. Seems like a great spot. No Jokic. All the users are going to go to Porter Jr. I wouldn't even fuck with his side in this game. Porter Jr. is going to get a bucket tonight, man. He's going to go for 30.
All right. Looking at the Michael Porter Jr. MPJ to get the job done here and have a big night offensively for those Denver Nuggets. All right. Golden State and Phoenix, the nightcap here. Final game of this Wednesday card. We got the Warriors here. 1.5 point road favorites in the desert, 228 the total in this game. This is a game where, again, just like the last several games, we've got Chris Paul questionable. He has not played in 3 straight games, still questionable with the heel injury that he continues to deal with. Cam Payne has been operating as the pseudo point guard for the team. In the meantime, with him out, Crowder and Cam Johnson remain out for the Suns, it looks like, tonight in this game. The Suns, or the Warriors rather, they're relatively healthy. It looks like all hands on deck with Steph, Clay, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond, and Kevon Looney being the starting five. So a relatively healthy team here in this one. But do you want to take Golden State in a situation where they've got to win a road game? I don't know about that. 0-7 straight up, 1-6 against the spread on the road for this Golden State Warriors team here entering this game tonight. That being said, on the flip side, you know what this spot is. First home game off a pretty long road trip through the East: Philly, Minnesota, Orlando, Miami, and they lost 3 of those 4 games that did the Phoenix Suns, and they blew it badly against Miami to end that road trip. They only have 1 day following the loss to Miami, so not a lot of downtime, not a lot of recuperation time following that 4-game trip, so it's not a negative kind of spot for Phoenix. That being said, I ain't laying with Golden State on the road, not with that track record, so I'd take Phoenix if I have to, but it's not something I feel overly strong about coming into this game. That being said, I will say this too with Phoenix. You got to think they show up tonight after just melting down and pissing it away against Miami. That was pathetic down the stretch. I know, tired or not, they might be a little jet lagged, but you got to think they show up tonight. That's embarrassing to shit that game away the way they did the other night against Miami. So I lean Phoenix. I don't know if I'll pull the trigger. What do you think, Dutch? Warriors, Suns.
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy, Winter Circle. I see you, my man. LJ, good to see H-Town, Mr. LJ in the building. You a better man than me, though, man. You better than Draymond Green, that motherfucker. Over 6.5 assists, though, my man. He be hitting them nice, solid prop. I like that look, but I don't really like Draymond Green's ass. I ain't gonna lie, man. I want to bet the Warriors tonight, but I just can't do it, probably because of his motherfucking ass. I think this is a spot for the Warriors. They're healthy, man, and then obviously they sent down Wiseman, the youngster. I don't know what they're doing with that guy. He's just obviously it might be a bust over him, especially if you
could have had LaMelo, man.
Yeah, I don't LaMelo, this motherfucker, man. Hey, I guess LaMelo, but I guess LaMelo will be better out there than Klay Thompson's 70% ass, right? I'm with you. But this game, I think, like you touched on it, Bobano, you got Phoenix coming back. Should they be mad? Obviously, that's a long trip though, back to South Beach. First game, they had not much time, like you said, like our boy Jay Money would say. They had a lot of shit to do. Had to take care of the kids, got a lot of shit to do their first day back. So, I don't know, man. The Warriors eventually got to start playing a better basketball team. This is a good basketball team. So, this is one of these games where I actually am interested in sitting back watching, and hopefully I can learn a lot to help me out a little bit more here in the future of the association. So, no bet for me. But I'm definitely looking forward to watching this basketball game.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Fascinating. Like I said, I don't think I'll get there with Phoenix. I lean that way, but you're right. With the 1 day only after that road trip, and Golden State coming into this game off the, that was one of their best games of the year. It was San Antonio. Let's keep that in mind. But it was still one of their best games of the year, and by far their best defensive game, I think, of the year in that 132-95 blowout win. So is that a buy sign on Golden State? We'll see. What do you think here, Billy Briz, with Golden State Phoenix?
The first thing to look at is where the money's coming in on this game. A lot of money coming in on the Warriors, and Dutch was the host of the show yesterday, and we had a little bit of a diverse conversation about talking about where public money's coming in on NBA spots on the card and just tracking them over the last couple of days, man. And Portland was the most bet on team yesterday. They ended up losing the spread, man. It just seems like the books are raking up on these very public spots. And it seems like this is the spot, though, for the Warriors, man. I mean, earlier this year when they played the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix, they got blown the fuck out, 134-105. Seems like they should bounce back 0-7 on the road so far this season, and they're the favorites. It just seems like a sketchy Vegas trap spot here. Overall, long way of saying pass, but, I mean, if you give me a free bet on this game and my life was coming down to a gun to the head, give me Steph Curry and the Warriors, but I don't want to. We're not in that situation. Just keep your money in your pocket, go to sleep, wake up the next day. I don't see why you want to be back in the Warriors with the public here in this spot. Even if you think the Warriors are going to win, try to figure out another way to attack it. Maybe a team total over. A lot of money's coming in on the over. That's one of the most bet on spots today. Also, as well as the Warriors Suns over. Second game of the national television. So hopefully we cash on these Atlanta Hawks and we get to sit back and chill back and watch this game.
Yeah, no question. And this is becoming a recurring theme with the defending NBA champions in this league. Their best basketball the following season is never in October and November and December. They're going through the motions early in the year. This has become a repeated scene with the defending champs. Their best basketball is, post trade deadline, second half of the year, post All-Star break, April, rev up for the playoffs. That's when we see these teams really flip that switch and get into high gear. Golden State's not there right now. All right. So I'm not looking for reasons. I'm not looking for reasons to bet Golden State unless I have a damn good reason to early in the season. And that's usually what we see with the defending champs. They're just not interested. They're not totally locked in this early in the season. And it's been a repeated recurring theme in this league the last few years. Great stuff with Dutch and with Billy Briz. Hit the like button. 258 live viewers. Let's run it up. Hit that like button. Let's go. We appreciate it very much. And stay tuned for Dabby Cab and Connor Mack after this at 5 p.m. Eastern for college basketball net profit. They will get you ready for the night in college hoops as well. And we've got our best bets coming up. We've got Dutch's Freshest Look coming up as well, right after we hear from our great sponsors, Manscaped, Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101, when you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke at Southtown 101 and manscaped.com. Promo code PUBSPORTS, 20% off your purchase of any product on the site. Manscaped.com. Use promo code PUBSPORTS. All right, it is best bet time for a big Wednesday night in the NBA, in the association. Dutch, let's start with you. Freshest look.
Yeah, man. Freshest look. We're going to the ATL to get the W, man. And now Hawk go shit all over that little motherfucking leprechaun. Believe it, it's good money. Plus 1.5, Atlanta Hawks.
There you go, Atlanta Hawks. Plus 1.5 against Boston for freshest look there for Dutch. Billy Briz, what do you got best bet for Wednesday?
Yeah, we're going to go down to the NO, as New Orleans people would say, New Orleans. We're going to take the Chicago Bulls to beat the New Orleans Pelicans tonight. Bulls plus money, plus 106. Favorite prop of the day is going to be Michael Porter Jr., over 19.5 points.
There you go, MPJ, over the point total for Denver tonight against New York for Billy Briz with that prop best bet as well. My best bet's going to be, I'm going to go to that over that I'm eyeing in the Oklahoma City, Washington game, over 229, Oklahoma City and Washington. I know Washington's been playing some better defense, but you get Bradley Beal, you get a shit ton of your offense back tonight as well. And OKC, not exactly defending well, but man, they've got everybody stepping up offensively, especially SGA, but you're getting big play from Pokusevski in the 5 spot lately. They've been scoring Oklahoma City in bunches. I think that keeps going tonight. So Thunder Wizards over 229 for my best bet here for this Wednesday NBA slate. That'll wrap it up. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Hit that like button on the way out. Stay tuned for college basketball net profit with Dabby Cab and Connor Mack at the top of the hour. Great show as always. And a reminder, we'll be back tomorrow on Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern, another edition of NBA Pub Hub. Dutch will be hosting along with Ski Profit and Durrell. So make sure you tune in tomorrow on Thursday for another edition of the show. For Dutch, for Billy Briz, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Wednesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you again tomorrow. NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Salute to the real ones holding us down in Wi-Fi land. Matt Stoney, Alex G, Alex Ramirez. I see you, my man. Nets Bets. Good to see everybody, man. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.